Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. I'm here for Jillibean Soup today. I have kind of an older technique that thought would be fun to revisit on cards, and that is tone-on-tone stamping on pattern paper. So using clear acrylic stamps, different colors of ink, and pattern papers. So you can see in this example that I created, I stamped with the same color ink that was the pattern paper and then die cut them out. For this new card, I'm going to use the mason jar set. It has a mason jar and then several flowers and leaves. It also has coordinating dies. So let's get started. So I've pulled out pattern papers from the Jillibean Soup Farmhouse Stew collection, and I'm matching ink colors with the pattern papers. So I'm grabbing a dominant color out of the pattern paper and then coordinating it with ink pads that I have. Now, so all you need for this are basic colors, just a red, orange, yellow, green, blue. That's it. So it's great if they match perfectly, but they don't have to. So I've cut all my pattern papers down to nice rectangles that make it easy to put inside my MISTI. I'm using my MISTI because I often like to double or even triple stamp when I'm doing this technique, because I really want the stamped image to show up on the pattern paper background. And sometimes the ink that I choose maybe is a little bit too light for that. And if that happens, then just stamp it again. And because of the MISTI, the pattern paper and the stamp stay in exactly the same position. So you can see there, you kind of lose the outline of the tag with a first generation stamp. But once you even second generation stamp, you can see it. So just clean it off with a rag, and then I'm moving on to my second color, which is that red wood grain. Now you'll notice that I am mostly using the B sides of the Jillibean Soup papers. That's because the A sides have those really fun graphics like butterflies and the pickup trucks and different things like that. But if you flip the pattern paper over, those B sides have really tiny versatile designs. And this kind of takes the place of a traditional 6x6 paper pad. This B side with the smaller designs and the very versatile basic designs that you can use on cards as well as on layouts for photo mats and things like that. Now I've lined up all my coordinating dies on top of my stamped images, and I've just adhered them with a little bit of washi tape to run through my Sizzix machine. You can see that the washi tape did get die cut on several of these, so I just need to peel that off, and then I have all these great little stamped and die cut images to play with when making my card. So this shaker that I'm making is one of the tag-shaped shakers, and you can see that those tags are sort of an off-white, and I like to color them with ink because I think it's a little tricky to cut around them or cut the shape of the shape shaker inside out, so I'd rather just color them with ink. And I'm just using a makeup applicator here. These are really cheap if you get a big bag of makeup applicators, and you can use them to adhere ink to your tags. So I'm using the Soup Staples 3. This is a 3x4 card, and I'm just going to put that inside the tag there, and that's going to give me a nice little brick background behind my mason jar. So the next thing that I'm going to do is grab a pencil, and I'm going to outline around the shape of the mason jar, and that's just going to let me know where I need to adhere my flowers. You won't be able to see it, I'm going to cover it up, but it'll give me an idea of how far I need to go when I'm adhering my flowers. I don't want to put flowers all the way up at the top because that's just a waste of stamped die cut images. So I like the way that the colors look on that brick background, but I don't want to add a lot more in there. So I'm just going to play around with positioning these guys, and then once I'm ready with that, I'm going to adhere them down. The next step is to grab the coordinating shaker globe, and sometimes I struggle getting those little adhesive stickers off, so I just use a pair of scissors and rip them and then pare them off. So Then I'm going to grab just a few seed beads. I have some orange and I'm going to use some blue as well. I'm not going to use a ton of shakers in there because we have all those flowers and I don't want to cover up all the work of adhering those tiny little die cuts down, but I do want some movement back there. So we have the brick wall, then we have the stamped and die cut flowers, and then we have some seed beads as well. And I'm going to adhere the tag together with some tape runner, and you can see that now that is a nice colorful little shaker there. Next, I'm going to heat emboss the sentiment on the tag. I'm using some EK Success powder tool first because I want to make sure that the greeting doesn't stick to any part of the tag other than where I want it. And I could have done this before I adhered the shaker. What I ended up doing was moving the sentiment way down on the block so that I was able to sneak it on right above that shaker element there. Now I'm just pouring some white embossing powder on top and shaking off the excess. Now you can see that I kind of smeared the sentiment there and I almost redid the whole tag, and then I thought, no, I'm just going to fix it. So I stamped and die cut out the hello because the sentiments also have coordinating dies on top of that red wood grain paper and just adhered it right on top, and I actually love it. So now I am just putting some fun foam behind a smaller rectangle, and then I am tying a little knot on top of my tag and adhering that right on top of that smaller rectangle of pattern paper. The background is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it will fit on a standard note card perfectly. Then I'm using some Tonic Studios Nuvo Crystal Drops in yellow. I have this gold thread and I thought it would look fun to pretend to tie the tags onto the top of the mason jar. So I did a thin line of glossy accents, put the gold thread on top, and then added those little tags right on top of that. And that completes this card. Really simple and easy to do, but a lot of fun to add some stamping on top of pattern paper in a coordinating color. A tone-on-tone look that is really fun and just extends your stamps a little bit further. So if you're interested in the supplies I use, those will all be linked down below. If you'd like to see some other shaker card videos, those will be down here as well. You can hit subscribe to see more videos from me in the future and check out my blog there. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today, and I hope you have a wonderful day.